Labour's headline is 1.5 million new homes being built in the next 5 years. Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, now Prime Minister, did say that Labour would bulldoze their way through the current planning regulations because he believed them to be restrictive. There's going to be some green belt areas that in the past have been regarded as sacrosanct in terms of no building happening. Brown belt areas will be looked at. Brownfield site areas will be looked at. There's also this new definition of grey belt, which is a new one on me, but defined as pockets of green belt that are no longer nature rich or beautiful, scrubby and run down. And those areas will be targeted as well. The incoming government have looked at some studies that have identified 18 to 24-year-olds. You're talking about a quarter of people within that age bracket, when surveyed, believed housing and the unavailability of housing was one of the top 3 issues that was facing our country. If you go to 25 to 49-year-olds, that went from 30% to just over 40% of people included it in their top 3 issues. Another interesting innovation is that there's going to be a classification on land being sold for development, and that classification is hope value. And what that in essence means is, if anybody is selling a piece of land to a developer for potentially developing that land, the seller will be able to demand a higher price for that land, because after obviously planning permission being given, it will hold a far greater value than it will do prior to that planning permission. And the government wants to encourage people to sell land to developers to get towards this 300,000 houses a year total. There's always going to be local concerns about that properties should be built for local people. There are very few, or certainly less, local people who can buy properties at 400,000. So therefore, these developments have got to reflect local need and local demand. Now, Angela Rayner said in a speech in Birmingham prior to the election that they will be holding building companies to account, in that they will have to, within any large developments, they have to have a proportion of social housing and affordable housing as part of the overall plan for that development. Again, it's a grand plan. We'll have to see how it works.